Hello, my sisters and brothers out there in the world. Today I am going to narrate Inspired Talks by Swami Vivekananda. And I am confident that if you listen to Inspired Talks, it is not only going to help you immensely in your life, but also it is going to give you clarity and a peaceful mind, regardless of what is going on in the outside world. By narrating this life changing book to all of you, I too shall learn at the same time as you. So, without further ado, let me start with Inspired Talks. Of our stay there, another disciple has written fully, and I will only say that it was a most blessed summer. I have never seen our master quite as he was then. He was at his best among those who loved him. There were 12 of us, and it seemed as if Pentecostal fire descended and touched the master. One afternoon, when he had been telling us of the glory of renunciation, of the joy and freedom of those of the ochre robe, he suddenly left us, and in a short time he had written his Song of the Sannyasin, a very passion of sacrifice and renunciation. I think the thing which impressed me the most in those days was his infinite patience and gentleness, like a father with his children, though most of us were several years older than he. After a morning in the classroom where it almost seemed as if he had gazed into the very face of the infinite, he would leave the room, returning soon to say, "Now I am going to cook for you." And with what patience would he stand over the stove and prepare some Indian tidbit for us. The last time he was with us in Detroit, he prepared for us the most delicious curries. What a lesson to his disciples! What a lesson to his disciples! The brilliant, the great and learned Vivekananda, ministering to their little ones. That's how down to earth Vivekananda was. He was at those times so gentle, so benign. What a legacy of sacred tender memories has he left us. One day Vivekananda related to us the story that had most impressed itself upon his life. It was told him over and over again in his babyhood by his nurse, and he never wearied of hearing it repeated. I will give it as nearly as possible in his own words. The widow of a Brahmin was left very, very poor with one child, a little boy, who was almost a baby. Because he was the son of a Brahmin, the boy had to be educated. But how to do it? In the village where the poor widow lived, there was no teacher. So the boy had to go to the neighboring village to be taught. And because his mother was very, very poor, he had to walk there. There was a small forest between the two villages, and through this the boy had to pass. In India, as in all hot countries, teaching is given very early in the morning and again towards evening. Through the heat of the day, no work is done, so it was always dark when the little boy went to school and also when he came home. In my country, instruction in religion is free to those who cannot pay, so the little boy could go to this teacher without charge. But he had to walk through the forest, and he was alone, and he was terribly afraid. He went to his mother and said, "I have always to go alone through that terrible forest, and I am afraid. Other boys have servants to go with them and take care of them. Why can't I have a servant to go with me?" But his mother said, "Alas, my child, I am too poor. I cannot send a servant with you." "What can I do then?" asked the little boy. "I will tell you," said his mother. "Do this. In the forest is your shepherd brother, Krishna. Krishna is known in India as the shepherd god. Call on him and he will come and take care of you, and you will not be alone." So the next day the little boy went into the forest and called, "Brother shepherd, are you there?" and he heard a voice say, "Yes, I am here." And the little boy was comforted and was no more afraid. By and by, he used to meet coming out of the forest a boy of his own age who played with him and walked with him, and the little boy was happy. After a while, the father of the teacher died, and there was a great ceremonial festival, as is common in India on such occasions, when all the scholars made presents to their teacher, and the poor little boy went to his mother and asked her to buy him a present to give like the rest. But his mother told him she was too poor. Then he wept and said, "What shall I do?" And his mother said, "Go to Brother Shepherd and ask him." So he went into the forest and called, "Brother Shepherd, can you give me a present to give to my teacher?" And there appeared before him a little pitcher of milk. The boy took the pitcher gratefully and went to the house of his teacher and stood in a corner waiting for the servants to take his gift to the teacher. But the other presents were so much grander and finer that the servants paid no attention to him. So he spoke and said, "Teacher, here is the present I have brought you." Still, no one took any notice. Then the little boy spoke up again from his corner and said, "Teacher, here is the present I have brought you." And the teacher, looking over and seeing the pitiful little gift, scorned it, but said to the servant, "Since he makes so much fuss about it, take the pitcher and pour the milk into one of the glasses and let him go." So the servant took the pitcher and poured the milk into a cup. But just as soon as he poured out the milk, the pitcher filled right up again, and it could not be emptied. Then everybody was surprised and asked, "What is this? Where did you get this pitcher?" And the little boy said, "Brother Shepherd gave it to me in the forest." "What?" they all exclaimed. "You have seen Krishna? And he gave you this?" "Yes," said the little boy, "and he plays with me every day, and he walks with me when I come to school." "What?" they all exclaimed. "You walk with Krishna? You play with Krishna?" And the teacher said, "Can you take us and show us this?" And the little boy said, "Yes, I can. Come with me." Then the little boy and the teacher went into the forest, and the little boy began to call as usual, Brother Shepherd, here is my teacher come to you. Where are you?" But no answer came. The little boy called again and again, and no answer came. Then he wept and said, "Brother Shepherd, do come, or else they will all call me a liar." Then from afar off a voice was heard, saying, "I come to you because you are pure, and your time has come. But your teacher has many rounds to go through before he can see me." I end this episode here, and I hope you enjoyed this beautiful tale of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, who appears to this child as a shepherd boy and plays with him. Such a beautiful story. It gives me goosebumps over my goosebumps. It gives me tears of joy. It fills my heart with joy. It's such an enlightening story, and I hope you all enjoyed it as I did thoroughly. And also, is this a coincidence that I am uploading this particular episode regarding Bhagwan Sri Krishna during the auspicious occasion of Sri Jagannath Rath Yatra, the return journey of Sri Jagannath? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and also, as always, please hit the like button if you like the video, share and subscribe. And I'm going to end this video with Jai Shri Krishna. Say Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Jai Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna.